I've been posting some videos lately, and I've been kind of dropping some hints, and some of y'all probably at this point going, Ray, what the heck is this maneuver blocking thing? I did post another video, which I'll put a description of in below, which, like I said, there's a whole bunch of hints showing you a lot of my different building materials and stuff like that. But basically, I wanted to actually just explain what I'm doing. So, maneuver blocking is just kind of a code name some of my friends and I came up with. It's just a kind of a fun thing. We're talking about building an armored vehicle, and one of my buddies in the group chat basically said, well, it has to be maneuverable, but for whatever reason it autocorrected to maneuver blocking, and we all kind of laughed and decided that's what we're going to kind of call it. But basically, I'm building a tank. Its original nickname was going to be Big Wendy, which Wendy, of course, is short for Wendigo. This is kind of my prototype, but if I ever build it in the future, I want to really call it my M1 Tomcat line. But my philosophy of use for why I want to build an armored vehicle or a tank is, A, it's fun. It's cool to sit there and kind of just figure out all these systems. It's legal. You can build or you can buy tanks in the United States, and in most states that I know of, you can drive them down the road. There's just a few things, like you need to have rubber tracks. They don't want steel tracks on the road, and you also can't have an armed large cannon in most states that I know of. So also, I figure if I've got a tank, it's one of those things where it's just like the Soviet Union and the United States during the Cold War. It's mutual assured destruction. You know, if law enforcement has their armored vehicles like their MRAPs and their Bearcats, and civilians like myself, we have armored vehicles as well. You know, it kind of makes them think twice about just rolling up for doing some silly stuff like you know, serving red flag warrants and stuff like that. So basically, how I'm starting out with a Chevy Suburban frame. I'll show you some pictures here. Let me pulling the top off that Chevy Suburban. It's a 2001, I believe. And the only reason I'm really doing that is I want this to be street legal. So I'm starting out with an actual vehicle frame that I have the title for, and in the end I'm going to try to get this registered and inspected. I have 1/4 inch plate and 3/8 inch AR400 steel. Hold on just a second. Turn down my CB here. Excuse me. 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch AR400 steel. So that's going to be my hull. In past videos, you've seen me dragging around axles and taking apart trailers and stuff like that. That's just all building materials for this thing. I bought two 353 Detroits with the goal of trying to get at least one of them running, which you can see in the previous videos that we succeeded in doing, my neighbors and I. It's going to have a turbo on it. I already have the turbo. I already have the wastegate. I just finished putting that together. I'm going to eventually put some 471 injectors in it, so it's going to have larger injectors just to kind of push more fuel through. And in the video prior to this one, you see me, I'm starting to set up my black fuel state, or my black diesel station. So this whole thing is going to basically be set up to, basically it can run down the road without any actual electronics. So if there's an EMP, or if any of my electronics become damaged, it'll still be able to run down the road. I have two 16-bolt corporate differential axles. I'm going to run those both front and rear. The front is going to be off a transfer case, which I already have. The reason why I'm using two of these is just in case there's an issue with the rear differential, or if I'm doing track maintenance by myself, I can engage the front differential to put extra tension on that track. So those of y'all that are watching this are going red. You know, most tanks, most bulldozers and stuff like that, they only have one drive axle with, you know, two drive sprockets, one on both sides. Why do you need two? I'm used to doing stuff out here by myself and figuring things out by myself, and I had a transfer case sitting around. It's going to use hydraulic brakes to steer. So basically I'm going to have 2 levers. And if I want to go left, all I have to do is just engage the brakes on the left, and that'll send all the power to my open differentials on the right, and it'll force me to turn left. Again, I'm going to try to make this street legal the best that I can. So just, it's fun just to run down the road and, intimidate the neighbors and freak some people out, and it's still be fully legal. I am going to be building gun systems into it, just because what's the point of having a tank if it doesn't have guns on it? They will be detachable, just so if I want to use them for something else, I can do that. But also, again, I don't believe that you can actually run down the road with mounted weapons to your vehicle, at least in the state of Texas. I could be wrong. I'll look in more into that. It's going to be basically based on the M50 Antos, but it's also going to have a troop compartment in the rear to put between 2 to 3 extra troops. It'll have a rear hatch that opens, very similar to a BMT. It's going to use cameras, which I already have. I already have all this stuff, folks, but basically I already have the cameras, the DVR setup, everything like that, the monitor. But if for whatever reason the electronics go out and I can't use that anymore, we'll have backup periscopes. It'll have ham and CB systems to communicate, and it'll also have a field phone in the back, and that's just so that if there's infantry on the ground and they want to talk to me or whoever else is driving the tank, we don't have to open up hatches or anything like that. They don't have to use the radio. This is going to be old school, kind of World War II Vietnam style, where they just kind of walk up and unhook the military field phone in the back, and they can talk to whoever's on the inside. So, anyways, stay tuned for more videos on the Maneuverbakken or the tank project, Big Wendy, or the M1 Tomcat, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be interesting. It's fun so far. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.